もしも全て投げ捨てられたら笑って生きることが楽になるのまた胸が痛くなるからもう何も言わないでよ
Balloons are deflated. Guess they look lifeless, like me. We miss you on your side of the bed. My love for you started out like no other. It was my birthday. You planned the party. You stayed up with me and we slept in the same bed because it was so cold. You made me laugh so hard. I fell out of the bed. Then we laughed some more. On the day of the party, I was looking for you and found you and Annie in the same room, asleep, on top of each other. Smiling, with a chest full of pain, I walked away and went back to the party you planned, with a fake smile implanted on my face. Why did that image hurt so much? The answer was clear as day, yet I was too oblivious to see it. Now the balloons sit there, lifeless, kind of like me. Still got your things here. They stay with me like souvenirs. You would come over. We would dance and sing and have fun. It was a never-ending party with you. Then, in the end, we would read our favorite books to each other. You tried to be funny one time and read me an encyclopedia while it was upside down. Now those books sit in the corner, piled on top of each other, stacked like a souvenir you would receive at the end of a birthday party. Each book reminded me of you. They were precious like you. Don't want to let you out of my head. You aren't with me, but I don't want to let you out of my head. Just like the day that I met you. Hi, I'm Lynn. I said as I approached you during combat training. Oh, hello, I'm Armin alert. You smiled so sweetly. I thought I was ascending into heaven. You were just that bright. The day I thought forever. We sat together with your two other friends, Aaron and Mikasa. Off the bat, I knew we would get along. Even Mikasa accepted me. She may seem distant, but that was because she kept her eye on you two, to keep you safe. I really admired her. It was pretty obvious she was in love with Aaron. Just from the way she looked at him, you could tell. I looked to the side and saw your smiling face as you continued to talk with them about the ocean. Mikasa and I had a lot more in common than I thought. We were both in love with someone who couldn't see us. You said that you loved me. I was grabbed by Titan, but saved by Corporal Levi. You ran to me with such worry on your face, it made my heart swell. Why in? You called my name in such frantic, I became so panicked. You embraced me so tight, I almost ran out of air. Then you said it. I'm sorry, I couldn't save you. Don't leave me, I love you. But that'll last forever. You were so happy. You changed a lot. You were with me, but every single time I felt like your attention was on someone else. We stopped hanging out, but when we did, it was never just with me anymore. It was never us anymore. It felt like you left me alone in a cold basement. I thought that our friendship would have lasted forever, but instead it lasted for never. It's cold outside, like when you walked out of my life. You walked out. It was cold, and the rain was pounding on my back as I went to find you after you walked out. There, I found you. There, I realized what made you so happy these days. You were in love, but sadly, you weren't in love with me. I always wanted to ask you, Armin, why you walked out of my life. I get like this every time. On these days, I feel like you and me. I cried so much, I became dehydrated. Then, during combat training, I fainted due to lack of nutrition and dehydration. You came to check on me, along with Aaron and Mikasa. On that day, it just felt you and me. Heartbreak, Anniversary. After that, I got much better. We got much better. You always checked up on me and helped me whenever I needed. You never left me alone, and it felt like we were back to our old self. I should have known that it would be the start of my heartbreak anniversary. 'Cause I remember every time on these days I feel like you and me. I remember every time you'd smile when she walked into the room. Annie. It was her you liked. I should have known. And it wasn't a petty crush with you, no. You were really in love with her. The kind you couldn't get with me. The kind of love where it feels like nothing could get in your way. Even on days where I thought it was you and me, it was just another day, continuing my heartbreak anniversary. Heartbreak anniversary, did you ever think of me? From then on, I saw you with her more. It seemed like everywhere I would turn it would be you and her. I was hurt. I felt like throwing up every single time I saw you with her. I was questioning myself, comparing myself. What did she have that I didn't? Then I realized I couldn't make you love me like you loved her. I loved you the same. Instead, trying to find my faults, I should have been asking myself this question. Did you ever think of me? I'm building my hopes, like presents unopened till this day. I had hope that we would be together. After Annie was found as a female titan, I had hoped that you would come to me. I really should have known that I fell in love with you and not someone like Aaron. It felt like you fell deeper in love with her, and I was a sinking ship. I still see the messages you read. We would write letters to each other. Those letters, the letters you would write to me and slip underneath my door when you were walking into your room. I still read them, even after they stopped coming. Even after they stopped coming, I reread them just to get a laugh out of it. It was like I was having a conversation with you, but with paper. Those letters made me fall more, but I knew that you were also writing those letters to her. You wrote them and she wrote back. You stopped writing me letters. I thought maybe you were busy, and I was right. You were busy with her. I should have known from the start that those letters would only cause me more pain when what awaited me was even worse. I'm foolishly patient. I waited for you. I kept my patience, but I was foolish. I was foolish to think that someone like you would just forget your love for someone like her. Even if she did come out that crystal, you would still love her like you did before she went into it. I should have known better in order to keep my heart from shattering into pieces. Oh, how foolish of me. Can't get past the taste of your lips. Don't want to let you out of my head. After the night Annie was captured, there was a party, a thank you and a dedication to those who helped us and to those who did not die in vain. If I was going to be honest, at the time, I really wanted Annie to get rid of me like she did everyone else. It would end my heartbreak, yet there I was, a fake smile planted on my face to hide all my regrets. That night, I really wanted to punch Hanj because if it wasn't for Hanj, I would have never been in that closet with you, lips locked as we kissed. If it wasn't for Hanj, I wouldn't have to worry about getting past the taste of your lips. It was like time repeated itself. I didn't want to let you out of my head. Just like the day that I met you, the day I thought forever, the day that I saw you getting yelled at by pixies like everyone else. You were smaller than most guys, but that was what attracted me to you. You were shaking, but you held determination in your eyes. I could see it. Pixies could see it. I'm sure everyone else saw it as well. I was already attracted to you without even properly meeting you. You were a sight for sore eyes. Said that you loved me. Again, you did it. You said it again, yet this time it was crystal clear that it wasn't meant for me. We had just finished hanging out. You looked into my eyes after calming down from your laughing fit. I was hopeful, but not too hopeful. Maybe it was the high of the moment, or maybe you were practicing for something in the near future. All I know is you broke my heart with these words. I love you, Annie. But that'll last for never. I laughed it off. I acted like you were stupid and cheered you on, telling you to confess. In reality, I just wanted you gone. I couldn't bear the pain, especially after hearing you say those words. I never knew I could hate those 3 words that came out of your mouth, but I suddenly loathed those words. I love you. It's cold outside, like when you walked out of my life. You ran after her. It seemed like you used all your speed and strength just to catch up to her. I used mine just to follow you and catch up to you as well. I knew better than to go out in the cold again. But it was you, so I couldn't resist. There you were, with her, kissing. I felt my eyes widen at the sight as a huge lump formed in my throat. This was it, huh? You have officially walked out of my life and into hers. I cried, but you couldn't tell. It was raining, so it blended in. I ran past you, not that you noticed anyway. I sat on my bed as I cried. I threw shit around and screamed bloody murder. That was how big an impact that image had on me. Why did you walk out of my life? Why did you walk out of my life and into hers when I saw you first? When I met you first? When I loved you first? It wasn't fair. Then I realized, where am I? In a world where humanoids run around going on killing sprees, I managed to fall in love with the one person who did not want me, but wanted another. My life was not fair, and it never will be. I get like this every time, on these days that feel like you and me. It wasn't just you and me anymore. In fact, our friendship ended like we were nothing at all. I knew that people knew of my feelings for you. I didn't care. I didn't come out of my room for weeks unless it was for expeditions. Some people were worried, and others just thought it was a phase. But you didn't visit me at all. It hurt. What hurt was that I knew you were probably with her. I knew you were probably smiling and loving her, the way you could never love me. Heartbreak Anniversary. At lunch, you announced you two were dating. Everyone was happy for you. Even those who knew of my feelings for you just pushed me aside and continued celebrating with everyone else while I was left in the dark. Even Corporal was happy for you. He said he knew that you two would end up together. Wow. That same day, Mikasa and Aaron announced that they were together. I had never felt more alone. It felt like everyone was taking a step forward into love and I was just drifting backwards. It was like my feet were planted in the same spot in the ocean while everyone moved forward. The current only drifted me further away from you. It hurt so bad, like 1,000 knives stabbed into my chest at the same time. I felt so useless. I felt like taking my own life. I felt like if I were gone, you wouldn't see me. Then it hit me. From the day we met, we were only a tale as old as time. Cliché. I fell in love with someone who loved another. 'Cause I remember every time on these days that felt like you and me. Those days that felt like you and me were no more. To you, I was no more. You didn't talk to me anymore. You didn't send me letters. It wasn't Armin and Wyan anymore. To everyone else, I was this loner without friends, and the one friend that I had left me for someone better. As you left my life, gradually everyone else left. It was like you were the sun and everyone else followed. I was the forgotten who never had a chance. Heartbreak Anniversary. And so, I met my end. Out on an expedition, I was out slaying titans like usual. Commander Erwin had just led us into battle with the beast titan. I was riding behind him as I saw the hairy beast crush up some rocks and get into a throwing position. As he flung the rocks, I watched as one hit Commander Erwin straight in his arm. It was a horrific sight to see. I turned my focus back to the fury humanoid, only for my vision to be blocked by another boulder. My life flashed before my eyes as everything went black. Yet, the only thing that was on my mind was you, Armin. Maybe in another life I can ask you this. Do you ever think of me? Armin was frantic. He had heard what happened to the commander and couldn't help but worry about everyone else who was there. He didn't know anyone who was with him, but he was still worried. When he reached the location that was given to him, where everyone else was, he hopped off his horse and walked towards the Levi squad. Noticing the fallen look on everyone's faces, he walked towards them in a hurry, but instead he was met with two bodies lying next to each other. Mikasa was crying over on the left, while Captain Levi and Hanj were talking about Commander Erwin on the right. Walking towards Mikasa, he gasped as he saw whose body it was. YNLN. Speeding up his pace, he dropped to his knees and began shaking her, trying to wake her up. No, this can't be happening, he thought as he continued to shake her, trying to wake her up. Armin. He turned around and was met with a punch in the face by Jean, who was crying his eyes out. Get away from her, Jean yelled as he wiped his tears with his sleeve. Jean was in love with you. Everyone knew it. You were just too blind to see, and by the time he was ready to confess, he saw you flying across the field after you got hit with the boulder. He was petrified. He loved you, yet you were always chasing after Armin, who did nothing but neglect you. Why couldn't you see him? Why couldn't you acknowledge him? What was so fucking special about Armin? He was always by your side whenever you would cry your eyes out, and sooner or later, your eyes became lifeless. This is all your fault. It's all your fucking fault, Jean yelled as he was held back by Eren. Standing up, Armin stood his ground as he wondered why he just got punched in the face. Why is this my fault? Why are you yelling at me? Why did you He was cut off by something that made his eyes widen and his heart race. It's because she was in love with you, you dipshit. She loved you so much. You didn't see her. You left her. You're fucking horrible. You're disgusting. You're all fucking horrible imbeciles. Jean yelled as he fell down to his knees and let his anger out on the ground. What? Armin was shocked to say the least. You loved him? You stood by him, yet all he did was neglect you. How fucking horrible of him. Did you all know? He asked as he wrapped his head around the new information. Nods. He received nods as an answer, because everyone was too guilty to even speak. The sobs of Jean and Mikasa was drowned out by his thoughts as Armin sat on the ground. Why did you love him? He asked himself as his own tears began cascading down his face. He knew that he fucked up, but he couldn't help it. He was in love with Annie. He was so blind by love that he didn't even notice all the heartbreak he'd caused you. He yelled as he cried his eyes out. All he did was cry. He cried from guilt, mostly. He should have known, but in the end, the heart once wouldn't once. That was the end of YNLN and Armin alert. That was the end of YNLN's Heartbreak Anniversary. Okay, so that's the end of this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. I was kind of moving around a lot while recording, so I'm sorry if the audio sounds weird. But yeah, so I'm gonna go edit this and post it. Finish my book by Sarah Deason, this lullaby, and peace out. Yeah, okay, bye loves, hope you guys enjoyed.